Welcome back to Think in English, the podcast where we master real, everyday English.
And where I try my absolute best to stay focused.
That is a perfect transition because of our topic today.
Let me guess. We are talking about why we stare at these glowing little rectangles all day.
Exactly, we are answering the question of why we are so addicted to our phones.
Even when we know they ruin our sleep, and probably our posture.
We all know the feeling of losing an hour to social media. So today, we will figure out why it happens.
I am ready to face the truth, even if it hurts a little.
Let us start with a simple question. What is the very first thing you do when you wake up?
I really hate to admit this, but I reach for my phone before my eyes are even fully open.
You are definitely not alone in doing that.
It feels automatic, almost like my hand just moves on its own, without my brain giving the order.
That happens because tech companies actually design apps to build those exact subconscious habits.
So you are telling me it is not totally my fault.
Part of it is basic human psychology mixed with some very clever software engineering.
Tell me more about that. How does it actually work in our brains?
Have you ever heard of the dopamine loop?
I think so. Dopamine is the chemical in our brain that makes us feel good or rewarded.
Exactly, it is the reward chemical. And it gets released when we experience something new or exciting.
Like when someone likes my photo or sends me a funny video.
Yes, and the apps use a system similar to a slot machine in a casino.
Oh wow, a slot machine. Because you never know what you are going to get?
You pull to refresh your feed, and your brain waits to see if there is a new reward.
That makes so much sense. Sometimes I refresh and there is nothing, but I just keep doing it.
That unpredictability is exactly what keeps you coming back for more.
It is wild to think my phone is basically a mini casino in my pocket.
It really is. And over time, your brain starts craving those tiny hits of dopamine.
And then I end up checking my phone even when it hasn't buzzed.
That is actually a recognized phenomenon called phantom vibration syndrome.
I get that all the time. I swear I feel a vibration in my leg, but my phone is on the table.
Your brain is just anticipating the reward so much that it imagines the trigger.
That is slightly terrifying, honestly.
It can be. But understanding the mechanism is the first step to taking back control.
I also notice I grab my phone whenever I feel even slightly bored.
We have completely lost our ability to just sit with our own thoughts.
Standing in line at the grocery store used to be boring. Now it is prime scrolling time.
But those moments of boredom are actually when our brains rest and come up with creative ideas.
So by constantly checking my phone, I am actually blocking my own creativity?
Yes, you are filling every empty space with noise, which is why we constantly feel exhausted. Now that we know why we are trapped in the scroll, we need a mindset shift.
I definitely need one, because just knowing about dopamine is not stopping my thumb from swiping.
The biggest change you can make is viewing your phone as a tool instead of a companion.
A tool, like a hammer or a microwave.
Exactly. You do not carry a microwave around waiting for it to entertain you.
That is a hilarious mental image, just carrying a microwave on the train.
Let me tell you about a student I had named Mike, who was really struggling with this.
Was Mike's screen time report as embarrassing as mine?
It was pretty high. Mike was checking his phone over 200 times a day.
Wow, that means he was opening it every few minutes.
He felt incredibly anxious and could not focus on his English studies at all.
I can relate to Mike. What did he do to fix it?
We worked on shifting his mindset to see the phone only as a utility device.
How do you actually make that shift in real life?
First, he turned his phone screen to grayscale mode, which makes everything black and white.
Oh, because without the bright red notification badges, the brain does not get the same dopamine hit?
Exactly. Suddenly, the casino looked really boring.
That is genius. What else did Mike do?
He bought a cheap digital alarm clock and left his phone in the kitchen overnight.
So he physically could not reach for it first thing in the morning.
Yes, and within a week, he told me his anxiety had dropped significantly.
He stopped treating it like a boss that demanded his attention and made it a tool again.
Precisely. You decide when to pick it up. It does not get to interrupt you whenever it wants. Before we talk about how you can try these tricks, let us look at some useful vocabulary.
I love learning the exact words for my bad habits.
Our first word is a very popular modern term: doomscrolling.
Doomscrolling. That sounds like reading a menu in a horror movie.
It is actually the act of spending a lot of time reading negative news online.
Oh, I am definitely guilty of that, especially late at night.
Here is an example. I stayed up until 2 a.m. doom scrolling, and now I am exhausted.
I will definitely use that one. What is the second phrase?
The second phrase is cold turkey.
Cold turkey. Does that mean stopping a habit completely and suddenly?
Yes, no slowing down, just stopping all at once.
Like, I tried to give up social media cold turkey, but it only lasted 2 days.
That is a perfect example, and it leads us to our third phrase: dopamine hit.
We talked about this earlier. It is that quick feeling of pleasure or reward.
Correct, you might say. I get a dopamine hit every time someone comments on my video.
It is such a natural way to describe that feeling. What is number 4?
Number 4 is a fun combination of 2 words: phubbing.
Phubbing. I have never heard that one before.
It combines phone and snubbing, which means ignoring the person in front of you to look at your phone.
Oh no, my girlfriend gets so mad at me for phubbing her during dinner.
It is a great word to know. For example, phubbing can really damage your relationships.
I will write that down and try to be better. What is the final word?
The final phrase is digital detox.
That sounds like going to a spa, but just leaving your laptop at home.
A digital detox is a period of time where you stop using digital devices completely to reduce stress.
For example, I went camping for a weekend as a digital detox and felt amazing.
Perfect. Those 5 terms will really help you sound natural when discussing modern technology. Now let us take this vocabulary and this new mindset into the real world.
I am ready to stop phubbing and start taking back my focus.
To do that, you need to set up some friction between you and your phone.
Friction meaning making it harder to use, right?
Yes, because right now it is too easy to pick it up without thinking.
What is a practical way I can create this friction today?
Try the 10-minute rule. When you feel the urge to check your phone, force yourself to wait 10 minutes.
That sounds simple, but I bet it is actually quite difficult.
It breaks the automatic habit and gives your logical brain time to step in.
Let us role play a situation so I can practice setting a boundary.
Great idea. Imagine we are meeting at a cafe to study English together.
Hey Emma, it is great to see you. Let me just put my phone right here on the table.
Actually, Leo, let us make a rule for today's session. Phones stay zipped in our bags.
But what if I get an important email or my mom calls?
Unless you are expecting a true emergency, the world can survive without us for 1 hour.
You are right. I am putting it in my backpack, so it is out of sight and out of mind.
Perfect. That is exactly how you establish phone-free zones.
I guess another good phone-free zone would be the dinner table.
The dinner table and the bedroom are the 2 most important places to keep tech-free.
If my phone is not in my bedroom, I cannot scroll for 2 hours before sleep.
And your sleep quality will improve dramatically, which makes learning English much easier.
It is amazing how much power we give to these little devices without realizing it.
We have covered a lot today, from dopamine loops to creating friction.
I feel like I finally understand why my brain does what it does.
If you only remember one thing from this episode, let it be this powerful thought.
I am ready. Give me the final wisdom.
Your phone is an incredible servant, but a terrible master.
Wow, a great servant but a terrible master. That really puts it into perspective.